So in this video, I want to explain the difference between a traditional C enum and a scoped enum. And why we prefer scoped enums over the traditional C variety when it's possible, when we can use them. So here I have a traditional scoped enum. I have actually two of them. I have a set of enums to represent the days of the week, Sunday through Saturday. I have an enum for the months of the year, January through December. Yay! I can, as you in the earlier video, we know that these are really just a package for integers. If you don't specify an initial value, it just defaults to 0, and then each integer gets monotonically increasing. So Sunday would be 0, Monday would be 1, Tuesday would be 2, etc. Same thing for January. What's less clear is that these variables, they look like they're in a scope because we have the curly braces, but they're not really. These variables, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, January, February, March, they become variables in the global namespace, and they are just integers. It's just a shorthand for making a bunch of integers. So if I create a month and then I use it in a conditional statement with traditional C-style enums, this kind of code is possible. If I make my enum, make my little enum program, this particular compiler warns me that I'm comparing between these two different enums, but it's still, not all compilers will, and it still compiles and disturbingly runs just fine. And in fact, this if statement evaluates to true, and the assertion is that Sunday is equal to January, and that is not really where we want to be. I could do that. It doesn't really matter if I used M or January here. I initialized M to be equal to January. It's exactly the same thing. This is one of the insidious things about unscoped enums, and it's the primary reason why scoped enums were introduced into C++, is to avoid these kinds of problems, to get these enums, frankly, out of the global namespace. So how do we do that? Well, we just make an enum class. To fix this particular problem, we would only have to do one of them, but I'm going to do both. When we make class enums, one of the basic rules is that we can now never refer to just the name as the name. We always have to include the scope in which that particular enum lives. And now, not only is this comparison not even possible, but this comparison is not even valid. There is no match for equivalence between two scoped enums that are different types. You cannot say that months are equal to days. And that's exactly the kind of compile error we want to have happen. This implicit conversion to integers, which happens for all scoped enums, or I'm sorry, traditional C-style enums, is the source of a lot of hidden defects. It doesn't mean that you can't, if you really, really did want to make this conversion, you can, in fact, manually explicitly cast both of these variables to ints if that's really what you wanted to do, and make that comparison that way, and then we would be right back where we started, which is, but now with no warning even, we're basically telling the compiler, yep, we really know what we're doing, and we really want to say that Sunday does in fact equal January. So we can convert scoped enums to and from integers, an integral type, if that's what we want to do. But the default behavior is to not allow that. And also the symbols that are in our enum are no longer in the global namespace. If we just did something like this and tried to say month M equals January, we get a different error. And it says Jan is, in this case, the compiler knows that it's a symbol associated with an enum. So it asks me, did you mean month Jan? Not all compilers will make that suggestion. Some compilers will just tell you that the symbol that you're asking for was not declared in this scope. But the upshot here is that you can't just use the word Jan without the type specifier to go along with it. And that is really all I wanted to say about enums. If you have any questions, send me an email.